Welcome back to MilduraWeekly.com.au for another edition of State of Play. Today I am joined by the latest AFLW recruit for Richmond, Courtney Wakefield. Courtney, thanks for joining me.
No worries, Mitch. Thank you.
It happened, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, being officially confirmed onto the AFLW list for the Tigers. Has it sunk in as yet?
I think it has now. It was pretty hectic. But look, we'd chatted about it previously with the people in charge of the female program at Richmond. So I was hopeful that it was going to happen at some stage. Obviously, I needed to continue to work hard, but then for it to happen, early on in the season, it's really exciting.
It's obviously a fantastic story for yourself on many fronts. You're a mother of two, live out at a station near Pooncarie, which I think you just told me was the size of 25,000 MCGs.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
And it's maybe over 1,000 kilometre round trip to get down to Melbourne to train and play each week. Yep. What is it that drives you to get down there and do it?
Lots of different things. I think now that I've got my foot in the door, it is to play AFLW, but it's just to create that pathway for future generations from the country, to know that we do have the opportunities. Especially my daughter and son. The world's our oyster. And probably, to prove those people wrong who don't think I can do it because maybe I'm too old or too slow, or, I'm a mum now. So, there's lots driving me. I'm really excited for the opportunity.
Obviously, being out on the property at different times during the week, I guess you've got to get your training in just wherever you can. Is there a lot of just not pounding the pavement as such, but just hitting the dirt and getting the extra exercise in? Yeah,
absolutely. Hitting the dirt's actually not so good for my knees, so I found out, Mitch. So I try not to hit the dirt too much. But look, till my daughter's in preschool at Euston 3 days a week, so I'm in town a little bit. So I do use the facilities in Robinvale and here at Mildura at the Mildura Waves. So I get plenty of chances to work out, which is good.
In terms of actual training, what's the schedule like?
So they train in Melbourne Tuesday, which is a lighter session, then Wednesday is a main session, followed by the captain's run on a Friday. Obviously, I try to make the Friday session for the Saturday game, but they give me a program through our app on our phone to complete away from the club, which keeps me up with the young girls.
So I think it was last year, it might have been, you went down to basically a training session in Bendigo for the VFLW side and showed up with your son on your hip. Can you tell us a bit about that and I guess your first impressions of the VFLW program and the coaching staff?
So I was actually later informed that it was invite only. So I rocked up uninvited with Sid, who was 7 weeks old at the time. So I was a little bit, probably hesitant, but fully committed, obviously to make the trip down there with the two kids. And to give like I said, Sid was 7 weeks, only 7 weeks old, so I was probably quite unfit, a little bit crazy, sleep deprived. But obviously I made a bit of an impression to get the phone call from Kate and Tommy. Tommy's our coach. Kate's head of women's football at Richmond. To get the phone call a week later to join the program, or squad as such, to start the pre-season, which was, that in itself was all a bit surreal, but a box that we could tick off, and then to be listed in the VFL program. And it's been very professional from day one, which I've loved. We've had clear direction from day one, which is motivation that we can work towards, which probably makes it easier for myself away from the club. So we hit the ground running and, we haven't stopped since.
Obviously, Tom, your husband, is a really big support for you. Did he imagine that this would end up being where it was when you decided you were going to go down and give it a crack?
He was a bit worried that it would happen. He didn't tell me that at the time, but when I was signed, he kind of thought, given I'm determined and, what's the word? Tackle things head on. He was quietly confident. But he's been a massive support and I certainly couldn't have done it without him.
How long had it actually been since you'd last played a game of football when you went down to that trial?
Under 11s, I guess, 20 years ago with the Euston Bombers. I think they were Euston Bombers back then, I can't remember, Mitch, it was so long ago. It had been a long time.
And what was it that I guess attracted you to having the opportunity and just going down and giving it a go, considering it had been 2 decades? Just
to say I could, because I had a thought if I had been given the opportunity 10 years ago that I certainly could have, made the AFLW. I don't know, so I just wanted to know. Given that the opportunity was there, I had nothing to lose. So I just kind of wanted to prove to myself, that I could do it.
You obviously went down the netball path for a long time, and we actually had one of your premiership teammates, Ashley Cameron, in the seat a couple of weeks ago. She said everyone's really happy for you, but they do miss you down at the club. Do you miss playing netball at all?
I probably don't miss playing netball, but I definitely miss the girls. You know, I formed some really special friendships, not only at Wentworth, but throughout my netball career. You know, it's probably been a 20-year career as well. So look, not netball, and I can always go back to playing netball after football, I guess. Football won't be forever. But yeah, I miss the girls,
In terms of looking ahead to next season, I guess living arrangements wise is going to be a little bit, probably a little bit more tight in terms of your time and that sort of thing. Have you got any ideas of what the plan's going to be?
At this stage, not a lot, Mitch. Even, you know, the AFL really don't have any set dates as per pre-season, start of the season, things like that. So we haven't made any plans as such. I've thought about it a little bit, but still really focused on the VFLW season, obviously. But that's something that we'll have to think about, you know, in depth more, you know, towards the end of the VFL season. Obviously
playing with the VFLW at the moment, and the girls are 3-0 to start with. Obviously must be pretty happy with the start to the season you've made.
Yeah, you know, incredibly happy. Like I said, we'd only won 3 games for the entire season last year, so to come out and win the first 3 of the season this year is really exciting and promising. Obviously we've got some new talent, some new faces. I think there's only 8 of us girls in this season's squad compared to last year, you know, with last year. And some AFLW talent, which is really helping us out. So yeah, it's exciting.
One of those is Katie Brennan, obviously the Western Bulldogs star, and must be very nice having her as a teammate. Yeah, you know, Katie's really slotted in really well with the group, the VFL group. She's hit, like I said, she's hit the ground running also. She's thrown herself right in there, and you know, her performances speak for themselves, especially on the Saturday just gone. I guess for the rest of this season and then into 2020 and beyond, what are the goals that you've set for yourself? Is there any sort of particular outcome that you want, or is it all about enjoying the journey? I think, that's probably the number one thing, which is to enjoy the journey, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. That thousands of other girls would, love to do, and I get to do it. So I want to enjoy it, but I want to make sure I do it to the best of my ability. I guess the first box to tick is to play AFLW. So when I tick that box, we'll set another goal. You mentioned your kids before. Do they understand what's going on at the moment? Are they old enough to sort of comprehend that their mum's going to be in the AFLW? I don't think so. Till's only 4, Sid's 18 months, so he definitely doesn't understand. Till understands what football is and that I play for Richmond, which is lovely, and she wants to play for the Tigers one day too. So they don't fully understand, but one day, I want them to know how important they've been for me on this journey. So I can't wait for that time. And obviously the Southern Asian Women's Football League is starting to build a bit of momentum up here at the moment. Do you feel like you can really provide that bit of an inspiration for these young girls coming through that potentially might go to the next level? Yeah, I hope so. There's so much opportunity now for the young girls, not only in this region but across Australia with football, pathways. So the future's really bright, and if people can, look at me and say that I've done it the hard way, hopefully they can achieve that goal, also. Well, Courtney, thank you very much for joining me up here today. Good luck for the rest of this season and for 2020 and beyond. Thank you very much, Mitch. Thank you very much for joining us here today. Make sure you stay tuned to milduraweekly.com.au for more videos.